Hello, my name is Derek McGillivray, commonly known as the Happy Medium. This is my weekly, could say, insights, talk shop. Hope to bring some clarity to us all during these times. Now, today is Easter Monday, and yesterday we were at Pluscarden Abbey, which is a magical, fantastic place. If you've never been in Elgin, highly recommend it. And we actually seen the chanting that the monks do, and it was very healing because I've been a little bit under the weather over the weekend, but now fully back to normal, especially after that lovely evening with the monks and the chanting. And being Easter, it's all about a time of rebirth in a sense, whether you believe or not. It is a reminder to kind of rewind a little bit and review and kind of re-engage. And then I hear this morning that the Pope's died, and whether it's a coincidence us being there and the Pope dying, I don't know. It's the divine timing, so it's all about change. So this week I'm focused on change, and the insights I've had have been quite profound. And in some of the previous videos, the short videos I've been doing lately, there has been a lot of change mentioned, and there's been a lot of things that people are going through where we're flushing out things in our life that don't serve us anymore, whether it's friends, jobs, relationships, and even some of our family. But we do it with love, and we do it with kindness as well. And that's what's been happening to a lot of my friends and colleagues, especially the spiritual ones, because we're so sensitive and we feel rejection very hurtful. And because we give and give and give, but we've also got to learn to receive. And I've always got a little teddy in front of my computer here, and it's I love you. It's all about loving yourself and taking care of yourself, as I have this weekend. And we can all look good. I can go and get a haircut later on today. I can feel better. You've got to take that time out, as I was forced to this weekend after taking reaction to some meds. My body kind of was going to shut down, and it flushed it out naturally. So that's the way I'm putting it over. And a lot of people are looking at these weight loss injections and stuff like that, especially me being diabetic. And I got the tablet for it, and I just didn't react to it very well, because the best thing to do is do it yourself. And that's what I'm going back to, is looking after myself, making sure we're going for that walks, making sure we're going for that time, making time for ourselves. And we don't need any tablets to do that. Medication can help, and we work with, you could say, the authorities or whatever, and bring a holistic approach to use and to ourselves as well. Now, some of the insights that I've had have been really kind of profound, and I did see a kind of like out of tragedy there become a lot of goodness. And whether it's the earthquakes that are going around the world, and we all know the conspiracy theories about some of these earthquakes are not caused naturally, and I believe there is some element of that, and I think a lot of people do believe that. And whether we're getting shaken up to have a reaction, I don't know. But there's a lot of strange things happening around the world. More people are seeing UFOs, and I've asked the cards today, and it's look at that. We're seeing something in the air, and it's a lot of young people are now seeing things, because the young are not tainted by what we were brought up by. And it is, the fool as well, leaving the baggage behind and moving forward, and it's so relevant just now. And when I look at this also, again, the Queen of Cups has come up a lot in my kind of readings lately. It's all about the mother and the mother inside, and the emotions, and looking after our children, and planting the right seeds for our children to grow. And that's what I've seen. I've seen a gathering of seeds, and natural seeds that haven't been contaminated, and new things being done with that, like a clearing of the chemicals. And I'm seeing exposure, companies being exposed by people you wouldn't expect. And sometimes we think people who are on the good side or the holistic side are not always. There's alternative motives there. And how many times have we seen it on Facebook? You go and click on something that looks really good, and then they hit you with a massive fee or a sign up to something later on, and you don't know where these meds or vitamins are coming from. And this is what's been happening. There's a lot of people making money. It's like drugs, but in a legal form. So this is getting exposed now, and it's going back to nature and Gaia. So when we see that advert comes up on Facebook, be wary of what you order and what you receive. And there's a lot of scams, and why people always take money out of the working class type people, and people are skint of always the ones that have to pay out for more. It doesn't have to be like that. We've got to have a belief system. But what you think is what you get. And it's like if you see a kid try to spill juice or carry a bottle of juice or something, and you say to them, don't spill it, they're going to spill it. Because that's the way we think. So we're all consciousness. So what we think is what we get. And the thoughts create an energy, and that's scientifically proven. So you've got to think positively. And there's the emperor. It's like, be the emperor, be the leader of your own life. And sometimes we've got to be that stubborn bee sometimes. And sometimes you've got to be that bitch for the greater good, and learn to say no, or say, sorry, that doesn't work for me today. And, if you want a bit of wisdom this week, I haven't got the crystal ball in here, and I will be doing more with the crystal ball, looking really forward. But I've got, people getting exposed, and that's what's been happening. And I've got an awakening, even prime ministers and stuff like that getting exposed. So I'm not saying who, but there's one that's going to get exposed very, very shortly, and it's going to be in the news. So look out for that. And I feel within the next 2 or 3 months there's going to be a big awakening. And this card has come up, and it's a lovely, lovely card. And look at this, It's like an illusion of entrapment. A lack of self-confidence makes you feel helplessness. Being afraid to take action, take responsibility for your life now. And we have to take responsibility. Nobody's going to do it for us. And that is a message. When you take control and learn to say no sometimes, the insights come. When we went a walk round Pluskirk and Abbey in the gardens, and I had some really great insights, and I was seeing things and feeling, because it was quiet. And we often forget about the quietness. And when we're sitting in that quietness, we get the ideas, we get the inspiration, and we get the healing. It's the self-healing. So this is what it's been about. It's the quiet, the calm before the storm. It's like we're in the storm's eye just now. We've had a lot of things come up, and we've got this eye. Here's the eye is where it's calm before all the storm comes again, and we're ready to you can say, acknowledge it, and we acknowledge it and smile. We don't react to the storm. Yes, you take your actions, you take cover, and you stay calm, and you protect yourself, and that's spiritual protection as well, and not get caught up in the anger and the frustration and all the nonsense that's on social media or the media in general. And what we've got to do is trust your own sat-nav, your own feelings. And if it feels heavy, it is heavy. If it feels light, it's light and happy and funny. And I've had a lot of that type stuff lately, is having that emotion, they say, oh, something not right here, or having that insight, go somewhere. And I made an insight for somebody to go to Pluskirk yesterday, and I was so right. The chants of the monks, which were Georgian chants from the 15th century, was so healing, and I could feel, it's the same experience I get when I do mediumship. My ears were ringing, I could feel the energy and divine with us there. Now, I'm not a Catholic, and I'm not a monk, so it was just nice to be there, and we didn't realise that there was going to be a service at 5:15 last night. So this is what I'm saying, use your intuition more. If you're guided to go and see someone, go and see them. I was getting to phone a friend today, and it was it was the right time to go and phone that friend, and I'll be phoning them back later on. So we've got to be more aware of insights. We do get guidance, not just me being a psychic or whatever. It's, you get guidance, and I work from the heart centre. I don't work for the money centre or the materials based type stuff. Yes, we'd all love more, wouldn't we? And we'd all visualise more. And we've got to come back to the core as why we do what we do. And if we're guided to change, like I was guided to change just before Christmas there to run the calendar shop. And I enjoyed it, and I was in front of people, and I was the top sales in the UK, in the top 5, and in other areas of sales as well, without around the calendar club. And I enjoyed it, and it was tiring because I was back to a 7-day a week, but I enjoyed being out in front of people, and that's what I've missed, because we get so tied up trying to run a centre and the costs and the worries that we actually gave up the centre and took a step back into this tiny wee room here. But is at the end of it? No. And it's the same as your journey. Sometimes it was a priest that told me this. Yes, a priest, a friend, Father Roddy, if anyone can remember him for a while. If you take one step back, you can go 3 steps forward. And that's what we've done, is take a step back to go 3 steps forward. And I will be doing more of these videos, and a lot of people ask me to do this, and I've avoided it. And what I'm saying is, yeah, I can bring my insights and wisdom to the table, and I must be often scared of people that would think, oh, Derek's saying this, Derek's saying that, what a lot of crap. No, I don't care. If I got an insight, and a lot of my insights has recently come through, and they're channeled insights to make us aware. Now, people say, can you see my kind of husband or whatever? Sometimes we don't see them, we feel them, and we can all feel if we sit and listen. It's a different dimension that they're in, but they're still there. And we've got to really control how we feel sometimes and not get carried away by the emotion. And here's another random card. It's like, looks like the Queen of Swords card there, right? Lovely, lovely card. And it's like brilliant, experienced, humorous, judgmental, releasing situations or people that no longer serve you, seeing the humour in difficult situations, focus on career, and it's like, you know, focus on yourselves, have a bit of fun. And that's what the message about Easter is all about. It's getting rid of the old and rebirth, you know. And that's what's happening around the world. There's a change. And Trump, in some ways, is instigating that good, bad, or indifferent, because there is change. People having to think about who we trade with, what we pay for our services. Are we getting value for our money that we put out as a taxpayer? And very often we're not. And this is what this change is all about. We're coming into a different period, a different, can say, zone in the zodiac, as people say. And it's a lighter, it's a more abundant zone. But we have to get rid of a lot of things to move into that fifth dimension. Now, I want people to subscribe to this channel so I can grow and really have more interviews. So the insights that I've had lately are starting to come through. When there's the death of the Pope, I mentioned royalty, I mentioned that there's going to be stuff happening with Elon Musk and some of his cars and electronics. And I also mentioned that there's going to be a change worldwide, and there's going to be exposure and things coming out, and it is already happening. And I'm even seeing things like, I was watching stuff about Elvis lately, and I know Elvis in some ways didn't die. And if you look at the Bob Joyce thing on YouTube and some of the hints there that Elvis didn't die, he's actually alive in somebody else, and he's a minister. If that is true, keep an open mind in that, but there's something telling me and something exciting me in there that it is true. Now, what else has been covered up that was going to come to light? Because of the days of social media and us all having cameras, they can't hide from us now. And they can't keep blocking it off, because there's always other ways, especially with satellites as well. So be aware, take a step back. If something doesn't feel right, then it isn't right. And if something feels good, then go for it. So my message this Easter Monday is relax, rewind a little bit, and re-engage, right? Re-engage in life and just be, and don't let go of your dreams and your hopes and aspirations. Go for it. So have a great Easter Monday, and look out for more and more videos coming very shortly and interviews coming. Thank you for listening, guys. Derek McGillivray, you happy medium.